How's it going, guys? I'm Matt Torix. And today, on my journey to play every game ever released in the Fallout series and rank them on a tier list at the very end, this 2-month-long series is finally reaching its end, as we close with the latest installment in the Fallout franchise and one of the most controversial, Fallout 76, which takes a new spin on the Fallout formula by making it a live service MMO as opposed to the more traditional RPG, a decision that is loved by some and hated by others. I myself fall into the latter category, as this style of game that's always changing makes it so that no particular part feels special and thought out, causing the game to feel boring in my opinion. And most people in the Fallout community share my opinion, as Fallout 76 is regularly hated on, especially at launch, which saw a bugged and unfinished game that was rushed to be put out by its deadline. Which at least for me was the last time I actually touched the game 6 whole years ago, and a whole lot has changed since then. So consider this video me giving the game a fair chance all these years later, and seeing if me and my friend and member of the channel, John, enjoyed any more the second go-around, as we play Fallout 76 in 2024. We start off in Vault 76, a test vault in the state of Virginia just 50 years after the bombs fell, with our very own blank slate of a character to customize, and the same in-depth character creation from the last game. So me and John take advantage of this to have both of us try and make the same character. We landed on Kanye West as our choice. All I'm thinking is this the type of guy who got falsely diagnosed by a doctor that I'm not going to say the race of, because reasons. It was a Jewish doctor.
He's like, I'm not going to say it for obvious reasons. He was Jewish.
He folds under zero pressure. And both failed tremendously.
Yours does not look like Kanye West. That is not Kanye West.
Yours is also not Kanye West.
Jesus fuck. We both did a piss poor job at making Kanye West.
We gotta look at these Kanyes side by side. Hold on, let me get a picture. For the rest of our time spent in Vault 76, we rush through the tutorial that teaches us what all the items are and how to use them. At the very end, we get a choice to choose either a level 2 character with basic gear, or an upgraded level 20 dweller with perks and stats already equipped. Which I will say I do appreciate as a feature, as it allows new players to more easily jump into content that gets released post-launch, without having to manually grind to that level. But that small praise for this game is instantly undone, because in order to access that new content previously talked about, I have to run across the entire map for 40 minutes and find the Brotherhood of Steel. Which isn't that uncommon in big open-world games, as it encourages players to explore all that the game has to offer on their way to the mission objective. The only issue being that this game doesn't fucking have anything to offer. You see, developers of most non-linear games with a big open world like to go by what is called the 60-second rule. This rule of thumb states that in an open-world game, at least every 60 seconds, something interesting should be happening in order to capture the player's attention and keep them engaged. Some of the greatest games like Skyrim, The Witcher 3, and Red Dead Redemption all work so well because they follow this rule and keep the player having fun. Fallout 76, on the other hand, does not follow this rule when it comes to its game design, making the map feel barren and boring when it comes time to make these large treks like we had to. And things got worse for me specifically, as when I finally found some super mutants on the way to fight, I accidentally drank this strange liquid that made me black out and get teleported halfway across the map, undoing all my progress. Now obviously once you have all the fast travel points unlocked, this doesn't really become an issue, but it still makes that first run through that much more annoying. Eventually, me and John got to the Brotherhood's base, and after almost an hour, we were finally able to start a mission. That mission involved us trying to get into the Brotherhood. A quest that to start off with has us just becoming a secretary and running back and forth, taking messages for a knight and relaying them to him. Our skills of obedience proved satisfactory, so I got to do an actual mission, which had me and a young scribe going down to the lower levels, and scavenging some materials from old machinery. Now here I actually started to have a bit of fun amongst this sea of bleakness, as we started to get overrun by Protectron guards that had challenged me a bit and got me into the game. This was momentary though, because as soon as we finished, it was back to just running and talking, first running to the paladin of the base and asking if I could join the Brotherhood. She said that in order to join I would need to find the source of the ghouls that were attacking all the nearby settlements and people. At this point John was bored and decided to leave me for the wolves and stop playing, but made sure to stick around for some much needed moral support.
I don't want to abandon you, man, but this might be at the point where I have to be the moral support. I don't want to play this shit no more.
I don't blame you. In order to get a lead on the nearby ghouls, we cleared a small collection of them and headed to a nearby farm. By talking to the family that owns the farm, they provide us some details that a large group of feral ghouls had taken occupation in a building not too far away. So I rip and tear until it's done, as per my orders. The rest was kind of a blur, but I went to a treetop village. They told me to go somewhere, and I died to a Mirelurk queen that had spawned randomly. And by the end, I was literally counting down the time until I could be done playing, which isn't the best sign. And looking back on the footage, I think what I said here summed things up pretty perfectly. I played 2 hours. I played 2 hours of Fallout 4 as well. I got halfway through the game.
Well, it could just be because...
And yes, true, it is just because I know the exact rhythms of what to do. But that's what I'm saying, is like, you can get so much, like, stuff packed into those 2 hours if you know what you're doing. It took me an hour to walk to a place in this. Wrapping things up with my final thoughts, if I had to sum up my experience with this game in one concise idea, it would be boring. It's not a buggy, broken excuse of a game like it once was, but the core style of gameplay that these MMOs function off of has just never been my personal taste in games. If you enjoy it, then I'm happy for you. But to me, this game just feels like it's bland and uninteresting. I mean, when you play it with friends, it can obviously be fun at times. Hello, green man.
Ow!
Oh shit!
What the fuck was that? Oh my god!
How was the dog hiding in the human corpse?
What the fuck?
That geometry does not work.
I don't even know what geometry means.
Now, from what I've heard and seen, the game does get better and more interesting the more you play it. And maybe my dopamine sensors are just fried. But I can't see myself staying interested in this game long enough to actually reach that point. But if you are a 76 fan and want to yell at me in the comments, feel free to, and leave a like if you enjoyed the video. And to anybody who found my videos through this series, I genuinely thank you so much for watching. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.